Anyway, we're gonna talk about our matches a little bit. Let's go into the NASL Rewind though of yesterday's matches. First, starting with these two players, we have Newerth versus Galaxy, and you know what's coming up. Good God, Rotterdam.
I know what's coming up. Some fantastic force fields by Newerth made it to the front page of Reddit. Everybody was like, oh my God. And look at how those force fields barely overlap each other on the raid. Just awesome. Overall, a really sick game by Newerth. We're going to just take another look at it because it's so beautiful.
Oh my goodness. I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, this game was so close, I felt like. Newerth, I think, played it perfectly, though. And this is more of the strategical play. I mean, this was a very tactical play, obviously, but throughout the game, you saw these great overall decisions that Newerth made that really gave him the game to put him in positions like he was throughout the series. I felt like Galaxy, he was playing pretty respectable, but let's move on to our next one. Strelic versus Violet. Violet is putting on some pressure against a meching Terran.
Yeah, Violet just played this game overall very well. If you're struggling with this MVP Terran style and you're just wondering how to play against it, Violet played so well. This was textbook Zerg play, just countering with roaches all the time, then adding in a few infestors. We're in a few. I meant that sarcastically, because of course this is quite a few infested and certainly a whole lot of infested Terrans. And immediately Strelic is like, you know what, I had enough of this. Now I'm gonna attack. Yeah. And Violet said, baby boy. Yeah, that's in my book.
That's where you're strongest, because if you continue macroing, you just don't have the capabilities of making that many units. So he's pushing there, but Violet immediately knows that's going to be the next transition, and he's already readied roaches in the bottom right-hand corner to do this very attack. It buys Violet enough time to remax and then do it all over again continuously throughout this game.
Yeah, just beautiful play by Violet. I overall really enjoyed it. While we're taking another look at all these counts that were going on, we see new roaches coming in from the front, while roaches are still in the main base picking up one of these stores. And these are the final moments. You thought like, well, this is still a scary army. How do you take that out? Well, on the raid.
Yeah, that bottom right-hand corner.
There's not a whole lot of anti-air in that army. All there was those two Thors, and one Thor was extremely
even if there
low
are 20 Thors, though. I mean, Broodlords, we know. They're good, man.
I have seen Thors work
I
against
know, I was just kidding on how imbalanced Thor.
I agree. Even if there were 20 Thors, guys, would have not made a difference.
Anyway, that was yesterday's top matches. And, oh, yes, we have one more. Violet versus Gonzi. And this is a pretty respectable Baneling bust, but Gonzi's going to do some nice micro to try to, you know, mitigate as much damage as possible.
For a second, I thought he was going to lose all the SCVs.
Oh, my God. There's so many, dude.
It's like 30 SCVs.
Yeah, I think Ben said like 35 SCVs grouped up right there. That could have been the best Baneling shot, but of course, Gonzi on top of his game.
This was a super cool game, though. We see Gonzi putting on some pressure here on Violet, but Violet handled this fight so well. Rolled in with all the Zerglings and the Banelings. Didn't use too many Banelings on those Thors, and was eventually able to clean everything up over here. Then we felt, well, this is looking okay for Violet. Certainly a little bit later, it started to look great for Violet, but Gonzi played a fantastic game on Ohana, was eventually able to close it out.
That's right, and this is one of the last fights. You can see Gonzi just spreading out. That's how you actually beat this style. You need space, but a lot of times it's hard to react that fast. You need the most pristine micro and positioning to actually be able to do something about it. But Violet looking amazing. You can see, I mean, he's cleaning everything up. And Gonzi,
he used a part of his army to send over there to that fort base. We see a low HP Thor, we see a low or planetary with 7-8 kills. I think if that didn't happen, I think Violet would have been able to straight up win the game. Because even though this still looks so good, believe it or not, guys, there are some very, very brave Spartans behind enemy lines as well. And over here on this ramp, look at this. This is the moment where suddenly everything changes around. Beautiful
I mean, that's what it comes down to. The remaxes, that's so important by both of these players. That's why it's so important to have a good production. Gonzi is going to go ahead and exercise that and really push back that fight. And what's so great about that, all the reinforcements are actually being taken out by that drop in the top left-hand corner. And this is going to be pretty much all she wrote for Violet, remaxing in a lot of mutas. But mutas with very little upgrades don't do a lot against Marines and Thors.
Overall, we had a couple of really exciting games yesterday. Of course, you can always check the VODs.